Hello and welcome back, or welcome. I am book lover Lorna. Today we're talking Midnight Sun. Now, there are going to be two versions of this video. One spoiler free, one with spoilers. So make sure that you're watching the one that you want to watch. This is my disclaimer at the beginning of the video. This one that you're watching now is going to be spoiler free. So if you don't want to know, I mean, we know what happens because we've read Twilight, but if you don't want me to say too much, this is the one for you. This is my spoiler-free version. Okay. Now, firstly, we've been waiting forever for this. I mean, this was like leaked, wasn't it? Like when, you know, Breaking Dawn was out and stuff like this, and everyone was like, ah, we need this book. We need it now. And now, years and years later, we've got it. Now, I don't know the dramas of why it's taken so long. I think there's been dramas. I don't want book drama. I just want books. You see, I'm not getting involved. Anywho, the original Twilight book is 434 pages. Well, my copy is anyway. 434 pages. Now, we've gone from 434 pages to this big boy over here. Now, oh, Mickey Mouse has fallen off. Poor old Mickey. Right, so we've got, how many pages? A lot. It's a lot. 756. 756. I mean, that's a lot of the old writing at your desk, isn't it? So, we've gone massive in size. A lot more pages, which, when you read it, makes complete sense. You know, Edward has a little bit more thought to add to everything. And he does go into a lot of detail. A lot. Like, extreme levels of detail in this book. Now, I thought, I haven't read a book this big for ages. And I was like, it's going to take me so long. It's going to take me so long. But it wasn't too bad. The chapters are kind of good sizes. So, they're like 30, 40 pages each. Which is the kind of, it's not too short that you're rattling, well, not really short that you're rattling through it really quickly, but also not too long that it made you not want to sit down and read it because you couldn't finish a chapter in the 15 minutes that you had or something like that. I mean, I'm slower to read than that. Should we talk about this pomegranate? Everyone's upset about this pomegranate. I haven't taken the pomegranate personally. I still don't understand the pomegranate reference, which you'll see when you read it. You might get it, I don't. I think it's a bit creepy. Maybe that's the point, I don't know. But, I mean, we could have had the inside of an apple. This is the apple, you know? I don't know. Yeah, the pomegranate is weird. The name of the book, yeah, on it. It's a bit big. Once you get into it, you do get through it at a fair pace. So the size wasn't quite so bad. Edward is very descriptive. Obviously, this is from Edward's point of view. Ah, yes. I don't know if you know this. This book, Midnight Sun, is Twilight, but from Edward's perspective. So it's the same story. It's the same story, but from Edward's perspective, which we'd all wanted to know inside the vampire's mind. Also, what team are you? Jacob or Edward? I've always been Edward. Although Jacob, he's got the bod. He has got the bod. But I think I'd be more of a vampire gal. I can't see myself as a werewolf running with the werewolves, you know? I'm a vampire gal. So I'm Team Edwards, just an FYI. Some of you will hate me for that. I would say that I'm really glad that I read this book. I think if you are a big Twilight person, then I think you've just got to read it. You just need to see it from a different side. It's very interesting because Edward has obviously got the old mind-reading shenanigans going on. You get a lot more into his family, into the Cullens, which I really like the Cullens. I know this is fictional. I really like the Cullens, so I really enjoyed seeing a bit more into their family and like what's going on in the house and stuff like that. That part then gets a 10 out of 10 from me. I do think that this was not entirely what I was expecting. I couldn't tell you now what I was expecting now that I've read it. I'm not sure, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. I did enjoy reading it, and once I got into it, I was like, yeah, I'm loving this. But there were some differences, which I will talk about more in the spoiler version of this video. So as I said, obviously only watch the one that you need, one that you want even. But there were some differences in the book which I was reading and I was thinking, it didn't happen like that, did it? So I asked someone else who was a big Twilight person. They were like, definitely didn't happen like that before. So there were some changes. Now, I don't know, in the time that it took to write the book and all of the, I guess, like proofreaders, editors and stuff like that, who would have gone through it, I would have hoped that they would have read Twilight and known the story. Or maybe they just would have assumed, you know, that she had it right. But I don't understand why there's different parts in the book. It's mostly the same, don't get me wrong. And if you weren't paying attention, you probably wouldn't notice the differences. But because I've reread Twilight recently and watched all the films again, there were differences. So I'm not quite sure about that. Why that's happened, why the stories, there are slight changes. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's still the same story. There are just things that happen in a different way, which I was like, I don't know about that. But yeah, if you're a Twilight fan, definitely one to read. I did enjoy it as I went through it. I got to the end and I was like, ooh, I enjoyed that. So, all in all, I think you just got to read it and see for yourself what you think. And then when you've read it, come to my spoiler video, which is going to be up at the same time as this, I imagine. And will just be me going into more detail than this. I feel like I can't say too much. I don't know whether I should say more because you already know what's happened in Twilight anyway, but I won't. Overall, I give Midnight Sun 4 stars. Because I did enjoy it. I like Stephenie Meyer's writing, apart from the discrepancies in the story. I like seeing Edward's perspective, I like seeing Cullen's. I felt like I was reliving Twilight. I did feel like I was reliving Twilight, but just seeing more of it, seeing more of what went on. I felt like it was real life, but we all know that vampires don't exist. Or do they? I don't know. To conclude, happy reading, Twihards. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this book, or if you've read it, or if you haven't, why you are going to or why you are not. Like what you're excited about. Or if you're not going to read it, then why are you not going to read it? I'm very interested to know your answers. Thank you very much for watching this video and happy reading. See you all soon. Bye.